everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. So today is April 8th. If you live in the swath of the eclipse, this day's been talked about. I feel like they've been talking about it for years. It's been at least a year. But there's all kinds of happenings in Indianapolis because we are right in the center of where it will be dark the longest. It's also supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be in the 70s. So I'm thinking my husband's coming home just before the first phase of it starts. I'm thinking a good place to watch this will be in the pool. So I'm going to try to get this done, and to go with the eclipse, and to go with the retiring list, and to go with my card club. I have a 8, 9, 10 sale going on. So today is the 8th, so it starts today. And the significance of the 8th, other than the eclipse, is that it is the last day to register for my Try It class at the early bird registration. But also over the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th, I have my normal thank you gifts. But if you purchase at certain levels, and you can go to my website and get all the details, you'll get a stack of free cards, because I'm going to get rid of all of the ones that have things that have retired or will be retiring. I found a couple of boxes that I didn't know I had when I was looking to do a video last week. You can go over to my channel and watch. I did 3 videos on the best bargains that will start on the 9th. So that's why the 9th is in there. So you can shop today if you don't need anything on sale. If you want the stuff that's on sale, shop tomorrow. But you get the free cards, you get the normal things, and then you can also get free classes. So a couple of the classes that will be in there, they're just ones. They might not be complete. You won't get a PDF, but you'll get the video tutorials for them. And it's going to kind of be a nightmare. It'll be back when we're back from Mexico. So I'm hoping that my refreshed brain will take it. But you'll get the class. It may be missing some ribbon. It may be missing embellishments. But overall, the class will mostly be there. And my classes range in $35 up to $100. So I'm not going to take any requests because that's too much. And I'm not even sure what I have. But I have enough that I think that I'll be able to send you all one, and then you can just piece it together with what you have. But it kind of gives you an idea of the class. If you're in club and you get a club you've already had, then you'll just have spare supplies to make some more. So today is the 10th then is the last day to sign up for my card club. This month we are using Meandering Meadows. You can go to this card, which is a variation of now I don't even remember which one I copied. It's a copy. So if you go to this video, it'll show you. But we're using Meandering Meadows paper, and then they can add on the encircled, I almost said eclipsed, encircled in nature stamp set if they want. So then I expect to get my catalogs tomorrow. They won't go out until, it takes a couple of days because I got to get all the stickers. I got to get everything in them. So hopefully mid to end week, they'll be in the mail to you for those first batches. And the people getting the first batch are the ones who ordered in March, because you're getting it with your March thank you gifts. And then next week, I will start going through all the others. I'm 85% done, maybe 90% done with my taxes, but that has to come. That's why I'm doing this in phases. And normally my taxes, I don't like to wait till the last minute to actually do them. I wait till the last minute to pay them. But with the wedding in February, that was, my month of February was kind of taking, because over the weekend I was like, why did I wait so long? And then I'm like, oh yeah, had a wedding. But today I'm going to do this. Every time we have a new catalog, I do a class called the Try It. And today is the last day, like I said, to get early bird. And I haven't checked, but I think it's about 3/4 full. So it will end the end of April. So there's different ways you can get it. You can get it right now early bird, then you'll be able to buy it regular. You get all the stuff mailed to you. Or if you're on my team, then they get it free. So if you'd like to sign up to be one of my team members, you'd get it free. So this is the first project. Usually we do fun folds and templates, and we use all the new papers, all the new ribbons, all the new embellishments, and then a selection of dies, punches, folders from this catalog is the one that I'm prepping now. So this is kind of what you would get. This is not a Try It class project. I'm going to show you kind of the intent of Try It class. So this uses the new Adventurous Sky. I couldn't remember the name of it. So when you get it, everything's pre-cut. I try to give you lots of pieces of the paper so you can see a lot of it. This card isn't going to have a ribbon. And then every project will have a video tutorial and then a really nice PDF. So this one is from last fall's holiday catalog. And you can see it has the pictures, it has the measurements, it has instructions, but then you can go back and watch the video as well, because a lot of times it's a lot easier to see it than to read it with the fun folds. So the idea is once you have this PDF, and those of you that have done all my classes, Try It classes, now you have a lot of these. You can go back. So this is the catalog we just had, the January 2024 in the celebration catalog. But you can go back and, so I wanted to use this, and I thought I want to do a fun fold, but I don't want to have to think about it. So I know a lot of you also do not give your cards away. I will be giving this away when it gets put in the stack of stuff. But here's this one right here. So you can see it's the Forever Love from the last catalog. You can see how it has a little gift card holder, a little fun fold. This one had the ribbon, the embellishments, the paper, and then one of the folders. So I want to adapt this, and it makes it super easy because you just go back, you pull up your PDF, you get the measurements, and then you can make the card quick. So I did this card quick. This one's going to have a little bit of stamping. Try It class does not have any stamping because we can't send stamps in the mail. But I started with the paper. So I haven't designed the Try It project for this suite yet for the upcoming class, but I'm thinking that I'm going to divide these up and you're all going to get a different one of these because this is my favorite piece of paper. Although I really liked that one and I started to use it, and then, you know, you always have to make sure before you cut aside, you're not going to waste it. But this is a really fun set. You can see I've cut it all up for my projects now. So we're going to do this. So pretend this is Try It. And this is how your stuff comes. You have a separate baggie of embellishments and a separate baggie of ribbons. This particular card doesn't have a ribbon. So let's do the scoring first. It's super easy. So if you want to recreate this project and you've done the Try It class before, just go back and pull up the Forever Love and it'll give you the measurements for everything. I'm going to put this in here and I'm going to score it. Always have to be careful that you score and not cut. So get my cutting blade out of the way. So let's score this one. This is the new basic beige, which is fun. And then I'm going to score this one in half. And that's it for this fun fold. So it's a fun fold that is not hard. I try to keep, I'm not going to say hard, the ones with no steps, I try to keep those just to do one or two. And then some of them are template based. When you get your new catalog, you will see that Stampin' Up! Now has a template page. So I've always in Try It done an adapted catalog sample as one of the projects. This time it will be one of the templates for sure. I may even do two of them. So here's our card. It's just going to go together like this. Super easy, huh? And we're going to put the gift card holder on the inside. So the first thing, let's go ahead and just stick all of our papers on here. The fun thing with Try It class is people get different pieces of paper because the amount of paper it takes to do this class is kind of astronomical. So you can always pick to do my side. You may have, I just take a packet when I do the video. So sometimes I get a different one than what I had. So see, we could do this way, which would look pretty, but I really love the map. You know, traveling is one of my favorite things to do. So anytime we have map paper, I love it. Now there is an up and a right for the countries on this. And there's some little ships. Tiny little ship in this piece. There's a bigger ship in the piece that I had before. So I want to put my gift card holder here. So you just need a punch, any punch. On the card that I just showed you, we used the scalloped oval, which is retiring. On this one, I'm going to use the cloud because there's clouds in the paper. And then we can put our gift card holder over here. Whenever you put a gift card holder in, I would recommend using glue or Seal Plus, but just for time. I'm just going to use my seal and just make sure you do the top and the bottom. And then that way you can slide your gift card right in here and then they'll see that it's in there. Then we have this piece here. And again, you can flip whichever direction. Oh, lately I have not been able to pick things up. It's a problem. So here we go on this one, or you can flip it over and do this one. So if you don't want an extreme plain theme, then use both sides of that. You can see how this paper, like the fish paper is going away, but the fish stamps and dies are staying, the fishing set. And this paper would work really well with that, even the clouds. But the reverse sides, the colors are even similar to that fish paper. We have this here. You're just gonna put some adhesive here. You can seal plus might be a better option for this. Although I think my other one has lasted for over the amount of time that I've had it and it hasn't fallen apart. So this is gonna go like that. Then we have our one last piece here. See, I can't pick it up. Don't know what the issue is. And you could do, again, either. This would be good, see, with the fish paper. It kind of, I think it's an area, like a topographical map, but when you cut it down, it could be waves. Just ripples in a pond. So stick that on there. So there's the card. That is kind of, it's the exact same thing, except in Try It last time, instead of paper here, I had that folder. And then we have a piece that I'm going to put on the inside that is, like this part wouldn't be included in Try It. And then Try It, we would probably just mount this little plane together, which is super cute. So here are the stamps and the dies. I really was good. I wanted to put this one on, but I wanted to show you the dies, and they both didn't work because this one has a little thing that will carry a sign. So you can put, you know how the planes carried. Here's the ones we're using, these three. And see this little thing right here, you can hook it to the back of this and then put your message on that. It didn't fit on my card. So I chose this because I wanted to use that, and then it didn't fit on the front of the card. But you can see you have the clouds and the things to cut out the stamps, and then you have those pieces. This will be available in the new catalog. Adventurous Skies, I'll give you another look. It has You Always Lift Me Up. I'm using You're the Best, Plain and Simple. Flying By to Say Hi, and then a Happy Father's Day. So I'm going to color this. You could just leave the basic beige. You could sponge something on it. You could use blends and color it. I am going to use a little bit of a mix because I started out and I just used the watercolor pencils. And then when the card was there and I was almost done, I'm going to stamp on color on the top of this. It gives me a little bit more softness underneath it. But when the card was done and I had the stamp pads out because I stamped the inside, then I just added a little bit of highlights. So I'm just going to take my watercolor pencils and I'm just going to put some lead on it. I'm coloring kind of sideways so it goes on faster. And you don't really have to worry about what this looks like because we're going to mess with it again. So this one's almost finished. This is Night of Navy. I have the one little coat, and then I'm just going to go back on some places and put a little bit darker. If you do it up and down, some of these finer things might rip. You can always glue it back together when you're putting it on your card, but it's so much easier to just use your pencil sideways. So there's our Night of Navy. Now I'm going to use Cajun Craze for the plane itself. Just put it on here. If you want to just use the pencil, then just be a little bit more intentional about where you're putting down the lead. But because I'm going to go on with another step, I don't care if it looks kind of funky right now. So there's the Cajun Craze. And then I have either espresso or pecan pie. It's espresso. Let me get this. This one I'm going to just do round because there's not a large area. You can see that it has it in cut and embossed. So we have the fun little embossing things on it. And then I have basic gray. And there's a top wheel and a bottom wheel. So to give it a little bit of color. You might be thinking that I'm forgetting the propeller, but you can see how this is kind of hard to color. The propeller is too, so I'm just going to use what's on my blender pen in a second to color that. And then, oops, just get the little landing stuff over here. And then the basic black. And having the two colors, the lighter color on top kind of helps that. And then over here, I just want a little bit of shading. So right in there. And then when I blend these, it'll help. I'm going to use my blender pen. You could use, pick those up and not try to talk at the same time. If you do this on watercolor paper, you could use a water painter, but you want to be careful because you don't want this paper to tear. So let's start with the blue. So this is why it doesn't matter how yucky it looks when you put it on, because when you blend it all together with your blender pen, then it all comes together really nicely. And it's super fast. But the blender pen, while it's wet, if you would color and color and color, your paper might pill. But the blender pen is a better option when you are using just regular cardstock. Just scribble that off. Now let's do the Cajun Craze. Look at the difference that makes. And it kind of even gives it a little bit of shading, which I thought was going to be enough, and it really is enough, but I just liked the one extra step I'm going to add at the end with putting some ink on it, because I already had the ink pads out. If I hadn't stamped the inside, then this step wouldn't have happened. So you can see I'm kind of going from light colors to light colors. So now let's do the espresso. And then let's do the espresso over here. And then blend that black in. And then on one of these, I can get rid of that. And then let's get the gray. And then the black. And when you do the black, there's plenty of leftover on here for the propellers. And it's easier to, those would be hard to color with the pencils just because they're so delicate. And it gives them a nice little bit of shading. Still see some pencil lines, and this is going to be the top. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to glue this together, then we'll stamp the inside, and then we'll come back just because I want this to have time to glue. So I found the easiest way to do this is I'm going to start, and I'm just going to put my plane down with some steel. And then I'm going to take my fine tip glue. Because this is higher than that, so if you try to glue it together, this way you don't have to think about what part of it is touching what. And you want just a little bit on here so it holds it, but just a little dab on these fine places will keep it. And this just goes right on like that. Let me grab my punch and hold that down for a second, and then get some glue on the backs of this. This one I'm going to put just a little dab there. Got glue on my fingers, you know, you get it stuck on there and then everything sticks to it. So we have this. I'm just going to let that kind of set for a second. So this is a piece of basic beige I have for the inside because I want to show you some of the stamps as well. And this is why I ended up adding a little bit more color to my plane. So here's some clouds. We're just going to do them across the top. And then we have Night of Navy. Get the little plane. So now we have an inside. And then I don't recommend you do this as your last step because playing with the odds that I know how to stamp. So I'm gonna one of the reasons I had the cloud punch was I stamped the greeting on the cloud, but it took up too much of the paper and I wanted to be able to see all the paper. So I'm just going to take Night of Navy. I went with a nice strong color. Black would also work. And you could also heat emboss this, which would be pretty. But when you wait till the end to do it, you need to make sure that you stamp it, right? Oh, there we go. You're the best, plain and simple. So then that was what I did. The stamp pad was open and I thought I just want to add a little bit more highlight. So first I started with my pencil. So just go back now that it's on here. You can kind of see the places that go together, like the shading places that would go together. When you're doing two parts, you can't see it as much. So I'm just going to add a little bit more blue. The Night of Navy pencil is not as dark as Night of Navy, right? Take the Cajun. I'm going to do the same thing where I just add a little bit darker highlights. Look how much better that already looks than just the flat color, and this is just a pencil. And then I'm going to get just a little bit more of the espresso over here. Kind of ages it up too. And then let's take, let me make sure that that was the blue side. Now I'm going to blend that a little bit, but I'm also, just because it's here and it's open, I'm just going to use a little bit of ink from the top of my Night of Navy. You don't want to go overboard. Otherwise you could have started with the ink at the beginning, right? Because we're trying to get this nice light coloring like they had over here. And I think it also kind of navies up the navy watercolor, which normally you don't notice that the navy's bright, except that it's right on top of the Night of Navy paper. And then let's go, when I do the other two colors, I'm going to use my beige. This kind of gives it a little bit more of a vintage look. So just kind of pull this in here, and I don't want the beige everywhere. So I'm kind of letting it all come off the bottom of my, or the tip of my blender pen, and then I move on. But see, it just kind of gives it a nice little vintage feel. And then let's get this over here. Perfect. So not hard at all, super simple. Now let's stick. The basic beige will be in the new catalog. Pop this in here. And then we have our embellishments that go with the plain. They are called industrial trinkets. I'm not sure which direction they go. So there's a pretty star pattern, but that's kind of the flat side. And that kind of looks more like a tool bit. So I just did some of both. So in Try It class, you get a little baggie and it has all of the embellishments. So you get to see all of the embellishments. We do 10 cards together. So I haven't got to the point yet that I count how many, like I said, taxes, catalogs, retiring lists. I am so busy this April. I can hardly, like, I can't think about it, because if I think about it, then it becomes overwhelming. So I'm just taking a day at a time and hoping by the end of the month it all works out. So this one, let's pop on this direction. I thought about looking in the catalog to see which way they put them on the samples. I try not to look at too many catalog samples while I'm in design mood, though, because I don't want to copy. I don't mind copying myself, and you should most certainly not mind copying. The nice thing about these two is they're kind of heavy, so it weighs that down. So here's this one. So those don't all slide off when I open it. So super simple. Let's go back and look at what we copied from. So if you've done a past Try It class, get those PDFs back out and you can kind of recreate it. So if you're interested in taking the class, in my sale, and getting a catalog, and joining my team, and all the things, there should be a link if you're watching on YouTube underneath this video, or join my email list, and then you'll always be up to date. Everybody have a great day and happy eclipse.